Genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs, are organisms that are living and have materials that have been genetically and artificially manipulated in a laboratory environment through something that is known as genetic engineering. This results in a combination of animal, plant, bacteria, and even viruses that do not occur naturally in nature, but only through specific techniques such as crossbreeding and other artificial methods, even though most people are unaware of what exactly a GMO is, and despite the fact that biotech companies promise that GMOs increase yields, tolerate drought, enhance nutrition, and have many other benefits, there is no concrete evidence on these presumptions. GMOs have evolved and become a very significant part of the modern society. There are various ways of altering the genetic composition, and surprisingly enough, the use of GMOs ranges back to around 12,000 BC, according to the International Science Index. The United States and Canada are the only countries that do not require the labeling of GMOs. The United States is the largest GMO crop producer in the world, while, on the other hand, 30 other countries ban or restrict the productions of GMOs. On a recent poll conducted on CBS News, 87% of the people surveyed are in favor of the labeling of GMOs, and 53% of all people stated that they would not buy genetically modified foods to begin with. Some genetically modified seeds include pesticides and fillers added to the crop genetically, which results in seeds sprouting and developing plants pre-programmed with the pesticide in the genetic material. One important example, according to the University of Florida's Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences, was with genetically modified corn, known as Starlink. This variety of genetically modified corn was made to produce a protein which had pesticidal properties and was able to control different kinds of insects without the use of any chemical pesticides. This pesticidal protein in the corn is called Cry9C and was approved by the EPA strictly for use in animal feed and non-food uses, but also not for human consumption. A couple of years later, in the year 2000, the GMO corn was found in the human food supply. This event triggered much publicity and resulted in an increased awareness by the public on GMOs in our food. Worse enough, many of these crops with this certain pesticidal protein cross-contaminated with other crops due to wind and other factors that cause GMOs to spread. Cross-contamination is very dangerous for both American farmers and its consumers. The most common genetic modification is corn resistant to herbicide glyphosate, a chemical in Roundup used to kill weeds. Soy is the actual most heavily produced genetically modified food in the whole country. These crops are modified to survive pesticides, but on the other hand make weeds more resistant as well as insects to the pesticides. This causes corn to continue to be modified and become stronger to kill the weeds and the insects. Another concern and issue with modified foods are the hormones that are added to meats. This practice is very common in both chickens and cows. The hormones make these animals abnormally big and thicker than regular animals without hormones. These effects have raised awareness in the U.S. consumers in the last couple of years. In conclusion, there are many arguments and scientific studies on GMOs and the uses of GMOs. The FDA approves of GMOs, and they state that they are as safe as non-GMO foods. They allow for the public consumption of GMOs. GMOs are very complex and will require long-term studies to comprehend the positive and negative effects that GMOs have on our health, our environment, and our food supply. If you have any other questions on GMOs or concerns, please visit nongmoproject.org for more information.